What's up, everyone? Fantasy football game show presented by. What is going on? Do you guys hear that? Presented by Front Yard Fantasy. I'm your host, Simon, joined as always by my co-hosts, Josh and John Luke. And joining us today, guys, is a special guest. We've got Thad Houson, a.k.a. Rad_Thad1 on Twitter. He's got the big brains in DFS, and he's here to kick some butt in Fantasy Fortune today. What's up, Thad?
Not much, guys. I'm really glad to be here. I was telling you guys before the show that I watched the show yesterday. I got tuned up. I'm ready to kick some butt. I watched a lot of reruns and current shows of Wheel of Fortune. I know what vowels to pick.
Oh, there you go.
I'm not going to do a lot of Z's and Q's. I'm good, man. I'm ready to go.
Man, he's got the strategy.
Like you studied up. No, JL and I want to win this game, all right?
We're already so bad.
Yeah, this sucks. All right. You know what? You're going down, Thad. I'm taking you down today.
My goal for this game is the same as my goal for yearly and daily fantasy, is just not to make a fool out of myself. And if I get lucky, then I'll take all the credit. So we'll see.
That's my goal every show. And I've never succeeded, but I will one day.
One of these days.
I was going to say, if you manage to do that, you're already further ahead than every single one of us after every single show. Guys, before we move into the game, I want to remind everyone watching, if you have not liked and subscribed this video, hit that like button right now and subscribe to our channel. We're Front Yard Fantasy on YouTube and Twitch. It's the easiest way to make sure you don't miss any episodes of this show, and it means a ton to us. So hit that like button and that subscribe button. And Josh, I believe you have a little bit of news for us before we get going with our game.
There's nothing crazy today, but listen, we just learned that Evan Ingram is going to be out for Thursday night, so something to keep track of. It does not look good having him on your redraft teams or just period, right? Some also news broke: Odell Beckham will not play in week 2. So this injury must be a little bit more extensive than we originally thought. Simon, you got any inside knowledge being a Browns fan there?
No, honestly, I think they're just being very careful with Odell. I think they're confident in the receiving core without him. Like, not that it's locked and loaded, but you saw them even drawing up plays for rookie Anthony Schwartz last week. Like, they're okay without Odell. So I think they're just being careful, especially with the matchup being against the Houston Texans. They're hoping that the Texans only scored, 37 points because they played the Jaguars. They likely shouldn't need Odell out on the field if he's not 100%. So that's my hope. But again, that's speculation on my part.
I get it. And one last thing, it's not really even news. It's more just hype, but I love that he said it. I don't know. I think Simon's going to agree. John Gruden on Darren Waller. He's the best player I've ever coached. So I'm going to continue to look for him. So, hey, Darren Waller had 19 targets. He's going to continue to look for him. He's going to look around for him. He's
Is Darren Waller lost, Josh? You got to let us know.
With 19 targets, believe me, they know exactly where he is.
They know exactly where he is at all times.
All right. So the targets are going to keep coming, guys. The targets are going to keep coming. But that's pretty much all I had in terms of news. I'm ready to beat Thad in Fantasy Fortune.
Before we do that, we got some people in the chat. Craig couldn't even come up with a pun. Oh my God, I love it. Craig couldn't even come up with a pun today because that photo threw him off too much. He said the Simon picture is simultaneously arousing and scary. It creates mixed emotions in me for sure. Jay Wall in here saying, let's get it. And we got Swamp in here saying, who dat? And Tim, he's already on your side, Thad. He said the FYF crew's about to get waxed by Thad.
Swamp, that's my homie, my Who Dat team, my homie. I'm
Who Dat?
Born and raised in New Orleans, so
Hey, let's go.
My Jameis Winston jersey is on back order.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Actually, you got one coming?
Yeah, got one coming.
Let's go. That's awesome.
Got one coming.
And Sully's in here saying, "Wait, you're supposed to study before coming on here?" Well, Thad's in here overachieving already.
Hey man,
Jay's excited to see. Excited to see Josh lose at his own.
Not today.
Game.
Not today.
Again.
Boys. No.
Also, Sully in here with a little more insight on the Odell Beckham, saying less than a calendar year for a torn ACL. It's not a huge surprise that he's still out. Yeah, completely agree with that over there. And NBA, what's up? Welcome in. Glad to have you here.
NBA.
And we got Mr. Anthony himself. What's up? Welcome in.
Anthony. Hey, great job on the show last night, Anthony.
Seriously. I concur.
They concur. Unruly Drip has a question for us. Debo, Mixon, Amari, CMC killed it for me. Do I look to trade anyone besides CMC? So would you guys consider trading CMC, or would you look at any of these other players as potential sell high options right now?
I'm not looking to trade any of those guys. It's week one. Week one is the week to avoid overreaction. And once you start trading, especially having a list of those guys of their caliber, those guys can have down weeks any week. It just happened to be week one. And in reality, they didn't have down weeks, to be honest. So there's really no who would you trade for? That's the thing. If you're trading those guys away, who you're looking to trade for? If someone's going to be giving me, Travis Kelce and the DeAndre Hopkins in exchange for CMC, then okay. But otherwise, there's not a whole lot to trade up for with those guys. So I have to stay put.
CMC is a cheat code. He was the top scoring running back, and he didn't have a touchdown. I don't know what else you want from him. I wouldn't trade him. The only thing I would look at is if somebody is severely overreacting. Like you were talking about, it's week one, so you don't overreact. But if someone else is, and if you could, I don't know, look at some of the disappointing players from week one. Look at a Stephon Diggs. Know what I mean? Like look at some of these guys who didn't super perform, and maybe you can upgrade a Debo to one of these wide receivers that perform poorly. But again, that's a stretch, likely not going to happen, but maybe you can catch some.
What about like a Debo for a Mike Evans?
Yeah, that's a perfect one in my mind.
I would do that for sure in a heartbeat.
Send that offer right now.
Yeah,
send Debo for Mike Evans and see if they'll take it. Probably not, but maybe you can catch someone who's panicking.
Even Amari, I don't know that they're going to pass as much as they did this Thursday. So if you can somehow upgrade Amari Cooper for someone, I don't know who would be a good candidate, but I'd be willing to do that. But I'm with Thad. I don't think you need to.
Yeah. And I don't know how much of an upgrade you're going to get on Amari Cooper. I'm pretty high on him this year. I was already, and then after seeing week one, I'm even higher. NBA. So Josh and JL, I know you guys are the resident Ravens fans. They want to know what's your outlook on the Ravens after watching week one. Are you worried that Lamar will get injured, knowing that he might have to run a lot this season? Do you project the Ravens win total over or under 10.5 wins?
Lamar always runs a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about Lamar getting injured. I'm done with that. I think he knows how to run in a way to put him in positions to not get hurt. I mean, he's never really gotten hurt before in his career, so I think he's going to be just fine. I wouldn't worry about that at all. Now, the Ravens, it was a little scary watching them on Monday night lose to the Raiders, but I think they're going to figure things out. I'm still putting their win total above 10.5 wins, even though it's probably slightly under going into next week. It's probably around 10.
You know what stood out to me was Lamar's throwing was fantastic. He really looked like he has taken a step in terms of his throwing accuracy and how much he's willing to throw it, how much the Ravens are willing to throw it. And so I'm excited for that. The O-line definitely looked worse than I thought. But I agree with Josh. I'm not too worried. They had this game in hand. They just made mistakes, and lost it.
And I can't wait for Bateman to come back. It was one of my main takeaways from watching that game. Like I cannot wait for Bateman to get on that field. But like you said, Lamar looked good with the receivers that were out there. Jay in here saying 5 minutes into the show, and Thad is already his favorite guest we've had. And Kevin here saying bird up. And what's up, Maria? Glad to have you in here. Guys, I think it's time to get into this game. I am hosting it this week. Josh is frozen. Otherwise, he's going to explain the rules for us. Otherwise, I'll have to jump in and explain them. Josh?
Is that like a red solo cup?
Joshy boy? There he
is.
is.
Hey, what's up? Josh, I've been here the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about.
You want to explain the rules of this game, and then we will get started?
Yeah, easy. So we're playing Fantasy Fortune today, right? Simon's about to put it up there in the screen. I'm sure most of you know about Wheel of Fortune. Forget about it. It's kind of similar, but we're getting rid of that wheel. There's still going to be puzzles. We're playing Fantasy Fortune today, and instead of the wheel, Simon is going to be hosting. He is going to be asking the contestants, which is me, Thad, and JL, a fantasy or football-related question. It's going to be a 50-50 question that you will be expected to answer quickly. If you get the question right, you get to guess a letter for the puzzle, and you'll be rewarded $500 for each consonant you get. If you want to buy a vowel, just let Simon know. They will cost $100 each. If you get anything wrong, we move on to the next contestant. If it's your turn and you think you can solve the puzzle, go ahead and guess at any time. You got to say exactly what's up there. Thad's been watching, so I know he's ready to go. Whoever collects the most money over the course of the game will be our champion today. AKA me. Let's go. Let's go.
And I'm excited to be hosting this game for the first time. It was a lot of fun putting these puzzles together. And I told Josh before this, we got some 20 questions are scripted. We're starting scripted with some of these, so we're going to be good to go over here.
What do you mean?
They're all scripted. I don't know.
Yeah, the first 100 questions are scripted. So if you guys go further
all
than
of
that,
them.
Josh,
Always
you've got
ready to go.
I determined the order before the show. Josh, you're going to go first. Thad, you're going to go second. And John Luke, you're going to bring up the rear going third on today's show.
That's what he's good
So
at.
if you guys are ready, I'm going to go ahead and load this first puzzle and we can kick it off. Also, that little window is going to pop up whenever I'm hosting. I think it's a PC thing compared to their Macs, but it shouldn't be a big deal.
Superior.
So this is the
Our
first
Macs is
puzzle.
better.
Josh, are you ready for your first question?
Oh, I am ready. Oh, and we're going to get out of the chat because the contestants, because the chat's going to get the puzzle before us, Thad, just so you know. So we're going to go hop into the private chat.
Maybe.
And they will. They will.
Speak for yourself, dummy.
Also, guys, so this puzzle category is NFL player mashup. Just as an example, this could be like, if it wasn't NFL players, it could be like Elton John Cena, where like the middle name, the last name of the first one is the first name of the second one. So like Elton John Cena.
Justin Chase Edmonds.
There you go. So that's
exactly.
That was last week.
Down there like, shoot.
Okay, you guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
Josh, your first question. Who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Corey Davis or AJ Brown?
Corey Davis.
Corey Davis is correct. Which letter would you like?
Let's go with a T. 2 T's. Let's go.
There we
Oh,
go.
I think I know it. Oh, I think I know it. I think I know it.
Click right on the score, Simon.
Oh, there we go.
Why do I have to go third?
All right.
Okay, Josh, are you ready for your next question?
JL already knows it. I actually think I will buy a vowel. Let's go ahead and buy an A.
Yep, I know it.
That's great for you, JL. I'm glad you know it.
Would you like another question, or would you like to buy another vowel? Or would you like to solve the puzzle?
I'll buy another vowel. Give me an I. 2 I's. Okay.
JL, do you still know it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, give me another question.
Half of it.
I'm going to text it to you, Simon.
Okay, your next question. Who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Mike Evans or Kendrick Bourne?
Oh, I don't know.
Time's up.
Kendrick Bourne.
I'm sorry. Mike Evans had 5.4 and Kendrick Bourne had 2.7. Mike Evans was the correct answer.
That was a mean question.
Thad, we are coming on to you now. Your question is, who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Amari Cooper or CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup combined?
Josh Math.
CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup combined.
CeeDee Lamb and Michael Gallup accounted for 31 fantasy points. Unfortunately, Amari Cooper had 38.9, so that is incorrect. John Luke, you've been saying you know the answer. Do you want to solve this puzzle?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Tyrod Taylor Heineke.
Sounds good.
That is it, John Luke. You got it. Tyrod Taylor Heineke, absolutely. And guys, I wanted to ask you, or JL, we'll start with you. So Taylor Heineke is taking over for the injured Ryan Fitzpatrick. One, are you interested in him as a quarterback option, maybe in Superflex leagues? And how does this affect the fantasy pieces around him?
Yeah, I'm absolutely interested. He's a starting quarterback on what I consider to be a high-powered offense, one that I hope will get a lot of wins. I think it's obviously a downgrade for Terry McLaurin and the other receiving options there. Hopefully Curtis Samuel when he comes back. But, I mean, Taylor Heineke, he did all right in this past game against the Chargers. It wasn't anything really amazing, but I'm hoping that he shows us a little bit more in New York this week. But I'm perfectly fine picking him up in Superflex leagues. I think he's a good backup or stash.
He can run, you know?
Yeah.
Thad, on the other side of this, the Tyrod Taylor side. So Tyrod showed up in that game against the Jaguars. Do you think we're going to continue seeing relevant fantasy weeks from him, or was that just a benefit of that Jaguars defense this week?
I think we'll see a fantasy relevant weeks. They might not be as consistent as Kyler Murray, and he might not have as high of a ceiling. But especially in superflex leagues, I've come to find that eventually, by the end of the season, due to injuries or just performances, every starting quarterback for every NFL team will eventually be off the waiver wire, just because guys get hurt. Guys will, want more than one quarterback. So I think as long as he's starting, he's a viable option.
Completely agree over there. John Luke, you solved the puzzle, right? So you banked $1,000. Before we move on to our next puzzle, though, we've got a question. Swamp says, for my Jimmy John's league, pick one to start and one to flex. Julio, Mike Williams, Claypool, T. Higgins, and Hollywood Brown. Josh, which of those two would you put in your starting lineup?
It's a good question. Wow. I think I'm benching Julio. I'm throwing T. Higgins out there still, especially if he's healthy. Then I think it's between Mike Evans and Chase Claypool, actually, for me. I think Hollywood Brown's going to keep having really good weeks as well. Mike Williams, Chase Claypool. I'll go with Mike Williams and T. Higgins, actually.
Josh, you took exactly what I was going to say. It's T. Higgins for sure, and then either Williams or Claypool for me. I would lean Williams, but that may be my Clemson bias. But I think he's a safe play based on what we saw week one. Would either of you guys start Julio over Williams and Claypool next week, Thad or JL?
I would start Mike Williams just because, if I remember correctly, I think he got like 12 targets, and they're playing Dallas, who can't stop anyone. So he's definitely my start. And then I'd probably go. It would be a toss up between Julio and Higgins after that, but I would start Williams for sure.
There we go. We had some people.
I would also start Julio over. I would do Julio and Higgins. Would be my
Julio and Higgins.
Just you.
Yep.
Okay. We had some people in the chat get it right as well. Craig coming in with Tyrod Taylor Heineke, and Tim also saying Tyrod Taylor Heineke. Nice job, guys. We are going to move on to our next puzzle, and Josh, you're up first again because JL got that one correct.
That's me.
So this is a similar to our off-season news category. This is a week one highlight category. Maria's hoping for JL to get his first win. He's off to a hot start, but we shall see. Josh, are you ready for your first question?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's go.
Who scored more points in week one, the Bears or the Vikings?
Like NFL points?
NFL points. Which team scored more points in week one, the Bears or the Vikings?
I'm trying to remember that Bears game. I think the Vikings did. The
Vikings is correct. They scored 24 to the Bears 14. Which letter would you like, Josh?
Let's go with an S. Let's go. I'll take that. I'll buy a Val. Give me the A. All right, let's go to our question.
Okay, your next question. Who had more passing yards week one, Zach Wilson or Trevor Lawrence?
I'm going to have to say Trevor Lawrence did.
Trevor Lawrence is the correct answer. He had 332 to Zach Wilson's 258. Which letter would you like, Josh?
T. No, okay. I thought there was no T's for a second.
Wait, so week one highlight is like a news thing, or it's like what exactly does that mean?
Yeah, I mean it's like something big that happened in week one. It's a week one highlight is how I would describe it if you made me give 3 words.
I would describe it by using the exact term.
Yep. I mean, I don't know what else you want from me besides week one highlight. So
you guys couldn't fit any more words into that damn thing? Jesus, what?
All right,
okay,
I'll buy an I.
Josh will buy an I.
And then I'll buy an E. All right. Let's go on to the next question.
Okay, your next question. Who had more rushing yards in week one, Alvin Kamara or DeAndre Swift?
I think Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara did have more rushing yards than DeAndre Swift. Josh, which letter would you like?
I'll go with an N as in Nancy. Ooh, coo-coo-coo-choo.
Okay, I got part of it.
What's it going to be, Josh?
I'll buy an O. Oh man.
What's it going to be? You want another question?
I got it.
You want another question? Okay, who had more PPR fantasy points week 1, Melvin Gordon or Chase Edmonds?
Melvin Gordon.
Melvin Gordon is correct. Josh, which letter would you like?
What's that second word?
G. I'm trying to.
Okay, Josh, what's it going to be? You need another question? You want to buy the last vowel?
No. I mean, I know.
No.
Wait, there's something.
It works.
I'll go into another question.
Okay, your next question. Who had more receptions week 1, Amari Cooper or Darren Waller?
Darren Waller.
I'm sorry. The correct answer was Amari Cooper. He had 13 receptions to Darren Waller's 10. Thad, we are coming to you now.
Bring it. I don't know what it is, but bring it.
Would you like a question or can you solve the puzzle?
I would like a can I still buy vowels and stuff even though I don't have any money? What else?
No,
Can I
you need some money to buy some
borrow
vowels.
Can I borrow some money from Josh? Hit me up with a question.
Okay, here we go.
I know what it is now. This is dumb.
Who scored more points in week 1, the Raiders or the Cardinals?
The Raiders.
I'm sorry. The Cardinals scored 38 points to the Raiders, 33 points. So, John Luke, we are on to you. Do you want to solve this puzzle or do you want a question?
I want to solve it.
Okay. Do you know
Zay
the answer?
Jones catches game-winning touchdown.
That is absolutely correct,
Wow.
John Luke.
Thank you for doing all the work for that, guys.
I just couldn't get off of Mac Jones, and I was like, he can't catch a game.
Mac Jones, he cannot do that. That's not possible.
I guess he could. Also, Jay Wall in here saying Thad is hilarious. What a great guest. Absolutely agree with that. And
you think I'm funny now? Wait until I start kicking these guys' ass. It's going to be hilarious. Once I start answering questions right, it really gets funny.
I'm loving this because I hate the questions. So this is perfect for me. Let's keep this going.
Jake in here with the right answer. Pretty early, Zay Jones catches game-winning touchdown.
I couldn't get that third word. I was like, Zay Jones battles game-winning touchdown? That doesn't make any sense.
Guys, I wanted to ask you about this Raiders receiving core as a whole. Like at the beginning of the game, honestly, through 3 quarters, it was Darren Waller and a little bit of Hunter Renfrow. And then all of a sudden, Ruggs and Edwards start getting involved. Zay Jones catches a touchdown. Outside of Darren Waller, which receiving option are you most interested in on this Raiders team going forward? Josh, we'll start with you.
For me, it's Bryan Edwards. I actually started Bryan Edwards in one league where I kind of had to, but I started him over Henry Ruggs. So Bryan Edwards was my preferred option going into this game. And it's not like he was involved all game. He kind of made his living near the end of the game when the Raiders started turning it on. But I like Bryan Edwards' size. I like his just how he profiles as the number 1 receiver in the NFL. If he could just get more targets. Type. Yeah. If he could just get
his
more
Myers-Briggs,
be good to go.
Checks out well for a number 1 wide receiver.
It really does.
John Luke, Thad, do you guys agree about Bryan Edwards, or would one of you prefer a Zay Jones, Henry Ruggs, or Hunter Renfrow for fantasy for the rest of the year?
I think they're all talented. I'm going to go with Edwards as well, only because they've been talking him up so much. The coaching staff is talking about how this guy's like the next Terrell Owens, so I kind of want to see what he has. So I'll go with Edwards too.
The next TO. John Luke, are you on Edwards as well, or would you prefer one of the other guys?
You know what? I'll go Ruggs. These guys are pretty even for me. I think both of them they had the same number of targets, 5 targets each. Bryan Edwards just had the touchdown. I'm sorry, he didn't have a touchdown. he didn't know because it was down the 1
was
yard line.
called
He just
back.
had some of those
Yep.
bombs, which really helped. But I think both of them are going to get involved, and they're always going to be second and third to Darren Waller there. I'm hoping they start to spread it around in that offense, but who knows with John Gruden.
Am I crazy, guys, for thinking Renfro's the safest option of those 4 receivers the rest of the year? It seems like Derek Carr likes him as a target on like those short yardage passing situations. Like I think
Great.
Renfro's volume is safe from game to game. Now his upside's certainly lower than Edwards and Ruggs, but if you're looking for
really
safety,
safe.
But
If
he's
you're looking
good.
for
I mean,
three-
he's
three
productive.
catches for
He's
30
hands.
yards.
He's
He's
good.
perfect. Like,
Yeah.
3 catches for the 30 yards all day. You got him.
Yep.
Put him in your
Yeah,
lineup.
Jay Wall,
I don't want Hunter Renfrow personally.
Jay Wall saying JL picking up all the scraps,
What I'm
and Jay
doing.
agreeing that JL is the fantasy fortune vulture. We'll see if he does it again. We have another puzzle coming up now. And guys, this one is an NFL player.
Wow.
Josh, we're coming to you first as well again, because JL managed to vulture another touchdown. So are you ready for your first question?
Yes.
Who scored more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Christian McCaffrey or Rob Gronkowski?
That's got to be really close. I'll go with Christian McCaffrey.
I'm sorry. It was Gronk, and it was close. Gronk had 29. CMC had 27.7, but Gronk
Fair.
did edge him out. So unfortunately, Josh, that was incorrect. Thad, we
Fair
are
enough.
on to you now.
Josh is the Taysom Williams of the group. JL
I do all the
is-
work, get none of the credit.
Yeah, JL's the Latavius Murray, and I'm the Gus Edwards.
Uh-oh, you're on IR.
I'm on IR.
You're hurting. You're hurting.
I'm hurting.
Are you ready for your question, Thad?
I am.
Who had more receiving yards in week 1, Jonathan Taylor or David Njoku?
Jonathan Taylor.
I'm sorry. David Njoku had 76 to Jonathan
I did
Taylor's
not
60
know
in
David
week
Njoku
1.
got 70 yards.
Wow.
I
David
had no
Njoku had-
idea.
76 receiving yards in week 1. He was very involved in that offense. So, John Luke,
That's
no
impressive.
scraps for you to pick up here. You're going to have to do the
That's
work on your own.
surprising.
I
you
do
ready
have
for your-
I do have a guess that fits, but I'll take
Have
a
you-
question because I feel like that would be not fun if I just guess it off the bat here.
Okay.
My internet would all of a sudden be out.
Yeah, that's fun.
He's frozen.
John Luke, did Dalvin Cook have more rushing or receiving yards in week 1?
Rushing.
Dalvin Cook did have more rushing yards. 61 rushing yards to 43 receiving yards. Which letter would you like?
I'll take a C. Oh, not who I thought.
I'm sorry, John Luke. So we are through a full round and nobody has put any letters on the board. Josh, we are back to you.
Let's go.
My question for you. Did Nyheim Hines have more rushing yards or receiving yards in week 1?
He probably had more receiving yards.
That is correct. He had 48 receiving yards to his 34 rushing yards. Which letter would you like, Josh?
Who could chew? Let's go with a R. An R. R.
Oh, oops. There we go. Josh, would you like another question?
Give me the E.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I might got it. Yeah, shoot.
You got it?
Yeah.
Well, I don't. So give me another question.
Okay, another question coming your way. Who had more rushing yards in week 1? Chase Claypool or Najee Harris?
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris is the correct answer. He had 45 to Chase Claypool's 25. I was hoping to trip you up there. but
I was
didn't get
nervous
you.
answering that one. I was like,
Which letter would you like, Josh?
Give me an S.
Do you need another question? Would you like to buy a vowel or are you going to solve?
Give
Come
me
on,
an A.
Josh.
A.
Come on, Josh.
I know it is. I know it is. I know it. I'm
Okay.
gonna solve.
Okay.
It's Ramondre Stevenson.
Woohoo! You got it right.
I know the noise that's playing in your ears right now.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wish you guys could hear the noise too, because it's really celebratory.
Hey,
every
can you
time
click
guys
on the
get to
lights
answer
right
it.
now, Simon? Real fast.
Do what?
the lights on the side. Just click on it. Yep.
He wants you to do the lights for him. He's so happy. He's so happy.
Josh, you solved this puzzle correctly, and I know during the game you were loving what you were seeing from Damian Harris, and we've talked about this on the stream a bit. Are you worried at all with the report coming out that he's going to take less work due to the costly fumble? Do you think Ramondre Stevenson benefits from that?
Yeah, I mean, everyone knows Ramondre Stevenson. I've seen it brought up so many times that he fumbled himself. But Damian Harris fumbled when, like, you literally all they wanted him to do was take the ball and not fumble. That's all they wanted him to do. So it is going to probably hurt Damian Harris a little bit going forward, because if it happens again, if he fumbles, they're going to be that much quicker to pull him out of the game and he's done for the day kind of deal. So that hurts Damian Harris in that aspect. But I think Damian Harris is the guy for the Patriots going forward. He looked really talented. He looks like a great running back. I want him in my fantasy lineups. I'm not that worried. But if fumbles do occur again, then it could be bad.
There we go. I agree with you there. Dan's in here with the right answer early.
Hey,
I think before there was even any letters on the board. Dan got it.
Whatever, Dan.
And absolutely celebrating it. Sully is in here saying, I used to think I wanted to play this game, but the more I watch it, the less I want to. I guess it's not going over well.
The pressure's
over there for
on,
Sully.
man. The pressure's on when you're just sitting here and you're supposed to come up with.
It's hard, man.
Yeah, Thad knows.
Yeah, it's hard.
Okay, guys, for this puzzle, we have another NFL player matchup for you. So this is going to follow the same logic as the last one. And I thought this one was fun just because all three words were the same length. Thad, we are coming to you first on this one. Do you want to solve or do you need a question?
Solve it.
I'm going to solve. I'm going to go. Is it Alex in Webster? If for those of you who have never watched Family Guy, you'll never get that one. But yeah,
I'll be honest. I did not even hear the answer you said.
Oh, is it Alex Karras in Webster?
Yes. Okay, I get it now.
I'll take a question.
Here we go. Who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Jalen Reagor or Robert Woods?
Jalen Reagor.
That is correct. Which letter would you like, Thad?
N.
You can turn off the lights now, by the way, Simon. Oh,
unfortunately, there is no N.
Thanks a lot. I get no letter and no lights. Jeez.
I'll turn the lights back on for you. There you go.
There you go.
Well, now it's for JL.
Yeah, now it's just insulting. You turn the lights on for him missing the letter.
Luke, are you going to solve or would you like a question?
I need a question.
Okay. Did James Robinson have more rushing or receiving yards in week 1?
Rushing.
Unfortunately, James Robinson had 29 receiving yards and only 25 rushing yards. So we had more receiving yards. That is incorrect, JL. Josh, do you want a question or do you want to solve?
I can't solve this.
Okay. Who had more targets, Darren Waller or Hunter Renfrow, Henry Ruggs, Brian Edwards, and Zay Jones combined?
I was about to be like, the answer's Darren Waller, but the answer's still Darren Waller.
Unfortunately, those 4 guys combined for 21 targets over Darren Waller's 19. So you got that one incorrect. Thad, we are back to you for another question.
So confident still.
Thad, my question for you is, who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Anthony Schwartz or Stephon Diggs?
Sounds like a trick question, so I'm going to go with Anthony Schwartz.
Unfortunately, it was a reverse trick question. It was Stephon Diggs.
Dirty, man. That's screwing up my mind now here. This is ridiculous.
John Luke, are you ready?
Knows how that is.
Are you ready for your question?
Sure.
Okay. Who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? George Kittle or Cordero Patterson?
Sorry, ask one more time.
Who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? George Kittle or Cordero Patterson?
Kittle.
Kittle is correct. He had 11.8 to Patterson's 8.7. Which letter would you like, JL?
I will go with T.
Unfortunately, there are no T's in this puzzle. Josh, are you ready for your question?
Yes.
Your question is, who scored more points in week 1? The 49ers or the Buccaneers?
The 49ers.
The 49ers is correct. Which letter would you like, Josh?
S. 2 S's.
There are 2 S's. Josh, adding 1,000 to your bankroll. Would you like to solve by a vowel or get another question?
I'll buy an O. Give me an O. I'll buy an O.
An O. There's one O, Josh.
All right, let's go to a question.
Okay, who had more passing yards in week 1? Jared Goff or Baker Mayfield?
Probably Jared Goff.
It was Jared Goff, Josh. You are correct.
Let's go.
Which letter would you like?
Give me an R.
There's one R.
Let's get. Let me buy an A.
By an A?
Yeah.
There's one A.
I'll buy an E.
There's one E.
Who the heck is that?
I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's go to another question.
Another question?
Yeah.
Okay. Who had more rushing yards in week 1? Was it Mark Ingram or was it Latavius Murray?
Mark Ingram.
It was Mark Ingram. That is correct, Josh. Which letter would you like?
I have no idea. An L?
An L from Josh. There are 2 L's to add $1,000 to your bankroll.
I don't know what this is. Give me an I.
There are 2 I's.
I feel silly.
You need a question?
Yeah.
Okay, who scored more fantasy points, PPR fantasy points in week 1? Was it Dallas Goedert or was it Zach Pascal?
Oh, that's so close. Zach Pascal.
It was Zach Pascal, guys. Josh, I just called you Josh. Zach Pascal had 20.3 fantasy points to Goddard's 14.
Uh-oh.
I got out there for a second. I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
I don't
So, Josh,
know.
which letter would you like?
I don't know. I have no idea. Give me a D.
There's one D. Adding another 500 to your bankroll, Josh.
You got
You
got this one.
I
Do you want to solve?
I don't have this one. Okay. I still don't. Oh, I got it.
Okay.
Oh, thank God. Corey Davis Mills.
Corey Davis Mills is correct, Josh. You solved the puzzle and banked that $2,500. Nice job. Took a minute to get there. Jay killing it in the chat said Corey Davis Mills got it right over there. So Jamison Crowder was out during this game, but Corey Davis showed up and had himself a pretty good performance. Thad, do you expect this to continue throughout the season? Do you think Corey Davis is now like a startable asset in that wide receiver slot every single week this season?
I think he's a situational kind of guy. You know, he's not going to have a lot of consistency just kind of based on the offense, especially when Crowder comes back. But he is someone who is serviceable, could end up being your third or fourth best wide receiver, depending on the week.
Yep. John Luke, what do you think about Corey Davis for the remainder of this season?
I like him. I feel like I've been up on him in the offseason as well. And I think we saw, that opportunity really come to fruition in this past week. I think it's just going to continue.
Yep. Cool. I agree with you guys. I think Corey Davis is a startable asset week in, week out.
Can we talk about Davis Mills for a second?
Yeah, Josh, go ahead.
No, I'm good.
So yeah, you can talk about him over there.
I got him on a fantasy team on my taxi squad. Just so you know.
There you go. We are ready for our next puzzle. And Thad, we are going to be coming to you first on this one. This one is NFL teammates. So these are players on the same team. Do you want to solve or do you want to question?
Solve it.
Either way, I'm going to get it wrong. So I'll go for a question.
Okay. Who scored more points week 1? The Jaguars or the Giants?
The Jaguars.
The Jaguars is correct. They scored 21 points to the Giants 13 points. Which letter would you like, Thad?
N.
N. There are 3 N's. So that'll be $1,500. Would you like to buy a vowel, have another question, or solve the puzzle?
How much are vowels? I'm afraid to spend any money. This might be as good as it gets.
Vowels are 100 per one that shows up. So like if there's 5 A's, that would be 500. If there's 1 O, it would be 100.
Okay, I'll go with an A.
Okay, so going to buy an A. There are 2 A's, so that'll be minus 200 for you there.
Take another question, please.
Another question. Okay. Excuse me. Who had more receiving yards this week? Who had more receiving yards this week? Was it Van Jefferson or was it Jamar Chase?
Van Jefferson.
I'm sorry. Jamar Chase had 101 receiving yards to Van Jefferson's 80. Yeah, Jamar Chase broke 100 yards this game.
Got them all on that one play.
Yeah.
John Luke, do you want a question or do you want to solve?
Question, please.
Okay, similar to the previous question. Who had more receiving yards in week 1? Was it DeAndre Hopkins or was it Rondale Moore?
Hopkins.
Hopkins is the correct answer. Hopkins had 83 to Moore 68. Which letter would you like?
I'll take an R.
Wow.
Oh, I definitely know it now. Definitely know it now.
I don't even know it. I forgot. Oh, I remember now.
I don't know it. I just want to put the pressure on JL down there.
I need. I'll buy an I.
There are no I's, JL, unfortunately. So we move on to Josh now. Josh, are you ready for your question?
Give it to me.
I thought you knew it. Oh no, you said you're just messing.
I was putting the pressure on you, bro.
Who had more fantasy points in week 1? Was it Austin Eckler or was it Tony Pollard? PPR fantasy points in week 1. Austin Eckler or Tony Pollard?
Austin Eckler.
Austin Eckler had 11.7 to Tony Pollard's 8.3. That is correct. Which letter would you like, Josh?
Give me a D.
There are 2 D's.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
What would you like to do, Josh?
Give me another question.
Okay, Josh. Who had more fantasy points in week 1? Was it Marquise Brown or was it Antonio Brown?
Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown had 23.7 to Marquise Brown's 19.4, so it was fairly close. But which letter would you like?
An S.
1 S, Josh.
Give me another question.
Okay. Who had more receiving yards in week 1? Was it TJ Hawkinson? Sorry, or was it David Johnson?
TJ Hawkinson.
It was TJ Hawkinson. I accidentally read the wrong name, but I'm going to give it to you anyways. Josh, which letter would you like?
Give me a B.
There's 1 B.
Give me our question.
Okay, Josh. Who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Was it Jawan Johnson or was it Danny Amendola?
Probably Jawan Johnson.
It was Jawan Johnson. Which letter would you like?
Give me a W.
There are 2 W's.
What? Oh, Brian Edwards. I'm going to solve.
Okay.
Brian Edwards and Hunter Renfrow.
That is correct, Josh. You solved the puzzle and now have taken a commanding lead. Oops, I already banked it.
Yeah. I knew Brian Edwards for a while. I was having trouble with Hunter Renfrow down there.
We already talked about these guys quite a bit after one of the previous puzzles, so we can move on to the next puzzle, try to fit a couple more in here. I will load the next one now. And Thad, we are starting with you. Anthony got it right. Brian Edwards and Hunter Renfro. Nice job. Eagle Dan getting it as well. And Sully and also Albert. Nice job, guys.
Took me a minute.
And Anthony said, bro, Josh. There we go. Yes, we got it. Thad, are you answering the question? Thad, are you ready for your first question?
I am ready for my first question.
Okay, who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Was it Jamal Williams or was it Alvin Kamara?
Alvin Kamara.
I'm sorry, it was Jamal Williams.
Oh,
Jamal Williams had 25.
I would have gone
points
Alvin Kamara too there. I would have gone
week 1 compared to 18.1 from Alvin Kamara. So we had 7 more fantasy points in week 1. I'm sorry, John Luke, we are on to you. Are you ready for your question?
Ready.
Okay. Who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Was it Christian Kirk or was it Nick Chubb?
Kirk. No, Chubb.
Chubb is incorrect. It was Christian Kirk, JL. So we are moving on to Josh. Josh, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, Josh. Who had more rushing yards in week 1? Was it Damian Harris or was it Derrick Henry?
Damian Harris had 100. Let's go.
It was Damian Harris. Josh, which letter would you like?
Give me a N.
An N. I'm sorry, Josh. There are no N's in this puzzle. So we move on to our next question. Are you ready, Thad?
I am.
Okay. Who had more receiving yards in week 1? Was it Brandon Cooks or was it Brian Edwards?
Brandon Cooks.
Brandon Cooks is the correct answer. Which letter would you like, Thad?
M.
An M. There are 3 M's in this puzzle.
There we go.
I'm gonna take my money. The only reason I got this name is because of the M in the first name, and because I have Jerry Jeudy on a team. I'm going to go with Tim Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, good pull.
Nice job, Thad.
I was not even there.
That puzzle.
Oh, man.
I couldn't think of any.
I give credit to Jerry Jeudy on that one because I never would have.
Shout out Jerry Jeudy. May you come back safe and sound.
Yes.
Safe and sound.
Nice job on that pull, Thad. That was pretty impressive. Dan in the chat as well, getting Tim Patrick Mahomes. You guys absolutely killed it on that one. Jay saying, boom, Thad. You only needed 1 letter on there, the M. So, guys, we could talk about this a little bit, but I want to make sure we have time for another puzzle. So I'm going to go ahead and load up the next puzzle.
Start Patrick Mahomes as your quarterback every week.
Yeah. If you can get him off of waivers, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Spend all the fab.
And on the serious side, I like Tim Patrick, but Noah Fant is going to be spectacular going forward, especially in daily fantasy. So,
yeah, people haven't been talking about him much.
Yeah, with Jerry Jeudy going down, there's definitely some opportunity open up for him. John Luke, are you ready for your first question, or would you like to solve this puzzle?
No, I'll take a question.
Come on, solve it.
Okay, who had more receiving yards in week 1? Was it DJ Chark or was it Justin Jefferson?
Shark.
Chark is correct. He had 86 to Justin Jefferson, 71. Which letter would you like?
S.
There are 3 S's, JL. So you get $1,500 so far. What would you like to do? Do you want to buy a vowel or do you want another question?
Buy a vowel, buy an A.
An A. There are 3 A's.
All right. I think I know one of them.
No.
No.
I'll buy another vowel, buy an E.
JL going to buy an E. There is 1 E in this puzzle.
I'll take another question.
Okay, who scored more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Was it Deontay Johnson or was it Jalen Waddle?
Deontay Johnson.
I'm sorry. It was Jalen Waddle. So we are moving on to Josh. Josh, it is your question. My question for you is who, or unless you want to solve.
Oh, no, I don't. I can't solve.
Who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Was it Nyheim Hines or was it Chris Carson?
Shoot.
Ooh, they were probably super close. I'll go with Nyheim Hines.
It was Nyheim Hines, Josh. Which letter would you like?
T. T.
There is one T in this puzzle, Josh. Do you want to by vowel? Do you want to solve? Or would you like another question?
Give me another question.
Okay, Josh, my question for you is who scored more points in week 1? Was it the Houston Texans or was it the Bengals?
Texans.
It was the Texans. The Texans scored 37 points. Which letter would you like?
An N.
There are 2 N's.
All right. All right. I still have no idea who this is.
I know it, Josh. In case
I'll
you're
buy
wondering.
it. I'll buy an I.
Josh going to buy an I. That'll cost you $200.
It's going to be Josh.
You're going to
It's
solve it?
Marcus Brown and Sammy Watkins.
It is Marquise Brown and Sammy Watkins, Josh. You got it absolutely right on a commanding lead.
Yeah,
but I think we have time for one more puzzle. You guys want to squeeze one more in? Let's do it. We'll load up one more puzzle, and we are going to end on a week 1 highlight. So this one is long, so it can change the game entirely. And Thad, we are going to start with you. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay, who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Was it Deebo Samuel or was it Mike Williams?
Mike Williams.
I'm sorry, it was Deebo Samuel with 31.9 fantasy points. John Luke, we are coming on to you for your question. Who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Was it TJ Hawkinson or was it Adam Thielen?
Ooh.
Thielen.
It was Thielen. Thielen had 30.2 fantasy points. Which letter would you like?
T.
T?
Yep.
T.
There are 2 T's, JL.
A-O. A-O.
May I buy a vowel?
Sure.
No.
A.
There are 2 A's. For being honest, I forget what this one is.
I'll buy another vowel. An E.
An E for JL. 3 E's in this one.
I'll take another question.
Okay, another question from JL. JL, who had more receiving yards in week 1? Was it Sterling Shepard or was it Christian McCaffrey?
Ooh.
Shepard.
Shepard is correct. McCaffrey had 89 to Shepard's 113. Which letter would you like?
I'll take an S.
Good guess. Good. Oh, ew, no. Hold on. Chill out.
Oh, I remember what it is now. Oops. Okay. That adds $2,000 to your bankroll, JL.
Thing, but he's the host, yeah.
I will. I'll take another question.
Okay, another question, John Luke. Who had more receiving yards in week 1? Was it Chris Godwin or was it Rob Gronkowski?
Godwin.
Godwin is correct. Godwin had 105 receiving yards to Gronkowski's 90. Which letter would you like, JL?
An R.
There are no R's in this puzzle. So, Josh, we come to you.
The store too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want a question, Josh?
Yeah.
Okay. Your question is who had more fantasy points in week 1? PPR fantasy points in week 1. Was it Darren Waller or was it Cooper Kupp?
Probably Darren Waller.
It was Darren Waller, Josh. Which letter would you like?
I'll take an L.
Josh taking an L, and there are 2 L's, Joshua.
Taking that L.
So you had a 1,000 to your
Seals.
bankroll.
Seals. Okay. Give me another question.
Okay. Who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Was it Mike Williams or was it Mark Ingram?
Mike Williams.
Mike Williams is correct. Josh, which letter would you like?
Give me an N.
Josh
With an
with an
Nancy.
N.
Okay,
There
I
are
know some of
2
it.
N's.
Give me another question.
Okay, Josh. Who had more passing yards this week? Was it Patrick Mahomes or was it Josh Allen?
Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes is correct. Which letter would you like?
I'll take a D.
There are no D's in this puzzle. So Thad, we are
son of
on
a
to you.
gun.
Are you ready for your question?
I am ready.
Okay, my question for you is who scored more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Was it Tyler Lockett or was it Jonathan Taylor?
Tyler Lockett.
Tyler Lockett is the correct answer. Which letter would you like?
An M.
An M. There is one M,
Ooh.
Thad. Oh,
Can I buy
would
an
you like
I?
another question? Do you want? You can buy an I. Go ahead and throw that up there. There are 4 I's.
Take a question.
Would you like another question?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Who scored more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Was it David Montgomery or was it Myles Gaskin?
Burpee
David
boy.
Montgomery.
It was David Montgomery. Which letter would you like?
W.
A W. There's one W, so you add 500 to your bank down there.
I'll buy a U.
Gonna buy
I think there's a U in there.
There is one U.
I don't know why I can't.
Yeah, we are out of vowels now, so it's only consonants. Would you like another question?
I'll take a question. I'll take a question.
I just can't get.
Okay, who scored more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Was it Elijah Mitchell or was it Dalvin Cook?
Oh, that's an ugly question.
Elijah Mitchell. Unfortunately, it was Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook scored more fantasy points in week 1. John Luke, would you like a question or would you like to solve?
I need a question. I don't know what this is.
Okay, who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Was it Josh Jacobs or was it Jarvis Landry?
Say it one more time.
Oh, crap. I know what it is.
More PPR fantasy points, Josh Jacobs or Jarvis Landry?
Jacobs.
I'm sorry. It was Jarvis Landry with more PPR fantasy points this week. Josh, are you ready? Do you want a question or do you want to solve?
I don't know what it is. Okay, question me.
Okay. Who had more PPR fantasy points in week 1? Was it DJ Moore or was it Cooper Kupp?
Cooper Kupp.
It was Cooper Kupp. Which letter would you like?
Give me a C.
A C. There are 2 C's in this puzzle, Josh.
What am I missing?
About 4 letters.
Last minute.
Would you like another question?
Yeah, sure. Give me
Okay.
another freaking question.
Who had more passing yards in week 1? Was it Joe Burrow
Oh,
or
I
was it
got it.
Tyrod Taylor?
Yeah.
Joe Burrow.
I'm sorry. It was Tyrod Taylor had more passing yards than Joe Burrow in week 1. We are on to you, Thad. Thad, you said you had it. Do you want to solve this puzzle or do you want a question?
I will like to go out in style and solve this puzzle.
Let's do it.
Last minute pick Seals Chiefs win.
Yeah, good call.
I I don't feel very good.
You got
I don't feel
it.
very good right now.
I got it. I got it.
couldn't
Like
come up with Chiefs,
during
guys.
Josh's
I
turn.
couldn't come up with
It
Chiefs.
took me forever to get Chiefs.
I got pick. I knew it was
In
pick.
fact, there's a house minimum of $1,000 that gets added for each round. So even though you only had 500, that 1,000 was enough to push you ahead of John Luke for second
Well
place
done.
in today's game.
Well done.
Eat it, John
JL
Luke.
ends in
I deserve it. I deserve it.
Oh,
Wow,
man.
Jason,
this
I'm
is
just
a
happy
hard
JL
game, man.
finished
It's tough. It's tough when you're in the seat.
It is.
It is. It really is.
When you're in the seat.
The jail's mom, and you said, "Look how excited Thad is. He knows it. She knew you knew it before you even said it out loud over there." And
I'm gonna tell my wife I
nice
won
job
anyway.
getting it.
Yeah, do it.
I'm gonna tell my wife I won the whole thing, so it doesn't matter. What,
Yeah, I humiliated them on the stream.
That's perfect. Yeah, what's she gonna do? Watch us for an hour? Probably.
yeah,
not.
exactly. She's
That
gonna
would
be like,
be,
how did you do with your little friends?
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
I'll lie to her too, Thad. Don't worry.
Yeah.
And Anthony says Josh
Yes.
wins. Victory spin. And
Victory
Jason, we'll
spin.
have Thad back for sure. Absolutely, Thad. We'll have to have you. We'll have to have you come back sometime to play some more games with us. I really appreciate
I
you
can't wait,
taking
man.
the time
This
to come
was-
on here
This
today.
was fun. This was awesome.
Yeah.
This is a great idea. A lot of fun. It's the hot seat for a reason, but it was good, man. I really had a good time. I'm glad you to be here. I appreciate you guys having me on, and I can't wait to come back.
We want you
Absolutely.
back.
Thank
We
you
love
so
having
much,
you
Thad.
on. And for everyone watching, if you're not following Thad on Twitter, go give him a follow at rad_Thad1. Great guy. And as you can tell, super funny. He came on here and just absolutely made a fool of us while playing the game. I swear, Thad, you had me cracking up this whole time. And Kyle now has a question for us. Hello, fellas. I'm back. Trade
Welcome back,
Gaskin
Kyle.
and Chase for Lamb. The league he was talking about yesterday. So would you trade Myles Gaskin and Jamar Chase for CD Lamb?
I don't
Nope.
remember the league you were talking about yesterday.
I don't think I can do it.
Too early.
I think this is the 8-team start 3 running back, start 3 wide receiver PPR league, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah, I'm not doing it. I think I'm keeping Gaskin and Chase, but that is close. Actually, in an 18 league, that makes it even.
Yeah, it makes it a
Yeah,
lot closer.
yeah. It's
Makes it even
it's
closer.
it's not a no-brainer. That's for sure. It's
I would,
But my advice to the people out there thinking about trades, etc., before you trade anyone, this is like overreaction week. You know, like right around now is when waivers kick in. Go and see who got dropped in your league. You'd be shocked at some of the guys that got dropped. You can scoop those guys up for nothing, and you don't have to worry about trading any top stars. You can boost your team that way. So
yeah,
don't overreact, but jump on guys that do.
Great advice.
Yep, completely agree. And we've got one more question before we jump over here. Do I start Terry McLaurin or Elijah Mitchell at flex this week?
Easy start
I'm
Terry
starting
McLaurin for me.
It's
Easy.
Terry.
Yep.
You could try to get cute and call your shot with Mitchell, but McLaurin's safer.
If we knew Mitchell was going to get all the work, if we knew he was going to get all the carries, he was the starter for the 49ers, then maybe. But not having that knowledge, you know, it might be Trey Sermon get more carries this week. It's got to be Terry McLaurin. It's got to be.
Agreed.
Yep.
Agreed.
There we go. Guys, that is it for us today. We will be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern time and every weekday at 3 p.m. And then make sure to check us out on Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern time on the FanDuel YouTube channel as well. And then if you haven't had enough of us by weekend on Sundays at 7 p.m., you can find us on the FanDuel YouTube channel doing our Sunday recap as well. But that's it for tomorrow. Until tomorrow. Josh, there was something you wanted to tell everyone real quick.
Trading makes fantasy fun. Remember it, Thad. All right, let's get those trades in. Let's get those. Hey, look for the waiver wire people to pick up, but also get in a trade. Why not? Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Get it done.
Thank you so much, Thad. That's it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow at 3 p.m. Until then, adios, everybody.
Bye-bye.